So hello everyone, thank you very much for joining me here today. Let me share my presentation with you, so you can see it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, all right. So the title of this presentation is Engaging ESP Learners, so English for Specific Purposes Learners, a murder mystery game for revising optics, optometry, language. Today we're going to talk about what a murder mystery is and how to use it in the classroom, then talking about the study specifically for the case study, the application, the implementation of this murder mystery in my class. We're going to see the participants, the instrument, which is the questionnaire to collect their opinions, and then the procedure, and then finally the results and discussion of this questionnaire. Okay. So a murder mystery, in case you don't know what it is, in general terms, it's a story about a crime and the attempt to discover who committed it. If you're not familiar with this, the definition is not clear enough. Basically, we have a story in which someone has died, or there is a crime, and then someone has to find out who committed the crime. So key benefits of having this in the classroom would be the enhancement of critical thinking and inference skills, and also the development of speaking and communication skills, thinking of using it in the foreign language classroom. Some previous work on the use of murder mystery in the classroom have focused on the adaptation of murder mysteries from the literature, from novels, basically, and also from films to the classroom. So it is a way to introduce literature in the classroom in a different way. And also more recently, there are cases of the implementation of murder mystery in science. Different scientific disciplines. We have mathematics, for example, and we had geography, different elements, different fields inside science. In this case, they didn't use literature, obviously. They didn't try to introduce a novel or literature in the classroom, but they took like real cases, like from real life, true stories, and they tried to put that situation in the classroom so that they had to solve the problem. So this is related to problem solving skills and related to problem-based teaching, problem-based learning too. If we want to implement murder mystery in the classroom, we need to take into account these key elements. The most important one, the characters. So we have a victim, which is non-playable because it's going to be dead unless we want this character to be a ghost in the classroom. It's not going to be playable by any students. Then we have the suspect, which are going to be the students. And we have to give them some background information, an alibi, a motive, some red herrings too, so misleading information so that the suspect or the murderer, the actual murderer is not obvious. And we may include a detective if we want to, but I would recommend that we don't, so that all students have the same role, even though one of them is going to be the murderer. All of them should have the same role, so that they can participate in the same way, the same extent. We also need setting and scene. So it's going to be the classroom. If you want to use like the building, that's okay. In my case, I prefer to have everything inside the classroom so I don't disturb anyone else. You can give students a map so that if you need to refer to any other environments, maybe you can have it in the map. And we need to have clues and evidence, again, inside the classroom. You are going to use the building, and then you can have it outside too. And then we need a plot. So involving the characters in the scene, then the investigation, a reveal, and a resolution. So in this case, I used this murder mystery in this English for Specific Purposes class. And the objective for the presentation of the study was to determine if it was a useful tool to revise the course contents. We had a 2-hour session devoted to this activity, and I had 16 students. So I tried to have it in a day in which I know that not all students are going to come. So, for example, you can have it, if it's not to revise, the course contents, you can have it before the Easter break. If you're talking about, depends on the terms that you have, right? But for example, before the Easter break is good. Some weeks here before a long weekend in May, this is also very good. Because students, many of them are not from Madrid in this case, so they have to go to some the villages, the cities, the towns. So I don't have all the students in my class. So I try to pick very carefully the day so that I don't have all the students. In this case, I had 16. So it was okay. I prepared it to, I prepared the murder mystery for a quantity of a total of between 5 and 15. So I had 16. So some of them had to be not only in pairs, but some in groups of 3. So it was okay. This is an optional course, so students are in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th years, but usually in the 2nd, and they have an intermediate level of English. The instrument to measure the result was a questionnaire in this case with different types of questions. You're going to see it on the following slide. And then the procedure was basically I administered it after students had finished, but before they left, because otherwise you never know. And it was anonymous. So these are the questions in case you want to stop the presentation and take a look at them. You can see that it has 3 sections: general engagement and experience, second one to address the revision effectiveness, and then overall satisfaction and suggestions at the very end. So just talking about sections 1 and 2, you can see that the results are mostly, they are all above 3. So the results are good because they agree with the statements. For example, we have if it was motivating, so mostly yes. So mostly quite a lot. Let's say 4 is agree, 5 is strongly agree. Engagement, so if the activity was engaging, if it was useful, now we have the second section. Okay, so this second section. So we have the revision effectiveness. So vocabulary, was it useful to revise vocabulary? So yes. Grammar, not that much. Yes, but not that much. If it was useful to apply the knowledge they had from the course, yes. And if they find it a useful tool for the revision, well, yes. And then we have question number 6. If the activity was useful to find areas in which they needed to improve, so mostly yes. And question 8, what aspects of the activity was useful for them? So the fact that it was fun and interactive was very useful. Also, the vocabulary it was useful, and to apply theory, grammar, and teamwork were not so useful as the other ones, although students, half of them, chose these answers. So they could choose 1 or more answers. So most of the students, almost all the students, chose this option. 3/4 chose this one, okay, and half of them chose these ones. Regarding section 3, which is the overall satisfaction and experience, we have some challenges here. Again, they had to choose 1 or more. So but some of them chose time constraints and language barriers as the most important challenges. 1/4 didn't find any, which is very good. And then we have some marginal results, some problems to understand clues, and some problems to remember content, but not many, because they could take notes. And 1 person chose other. Okay, yes, answer other, and then please specify. They specified with different words, but that we have to make sure that all students can participate equally. So talking about question number 10, would you recommend these for future years? Yes, basically, yeah. Only 1 person said no, so it's okay. And some suggestions that they wrote. were these ones. So again, equal participation. So we have to make sure that all students participate equally. Give more time, so related to time constraints, I would say. We can assign roles in advance so the students can prepare. And then we can include digital visual elements. For example, I was thinking of creating a journaly for some clues maybe, or to interact with these elements. So I think it would be an idea to address these suggestions. And then we had contradictory suggestions. Some of them said that clues should be more challenging, some others they should be easier. So you cannot have an homogeneous group. You will never have it in language classes. So it's very interesting to note there. So a solution would be that we have different levels in the clues so that all students can at least do something. So to conclude, we can say that in general, as achievements, we had a very positive reception. It was a motivating activity, and we had very good engagement. Results to students appreciated that it was a very interactive activity in which they had to use the communication skills and they had to speak English, and it was very useful. For the vocabulary revision, which is very important in ESP. We have a very, very big load of vocabulary, so it was great. And some challenges, we've mentioned that finding the right level of difficulty for our students is very complicated. The duration was the first time that we implemented it. It's always difficult also, but now that we've implemented it, next time will be easier. Equal participation, we have to pay attention to make sure that all students participate equally, maybe having smaller groups. So I can split the class and have the activity done in 2 days, so only some students come each day, maybe a good idea. Incorporating visual aids, and finally see how we can improve the grammar content in the activity, for example, with a useful language box. So in general, we can say that the implementation was successful with the purpose that it had to review the course contents, to revise the course contents. And in the future, we'll try to address these suggestions and challenges that it's even better. So thank you very much for your attention. And these are my contact details in case that you want to contact me. So again, thank you very much.